What's up, everyone? My name's Chris Marshall with my boy Frank G. Your favorite dynamic duo is back. Frank G, tell the people what we do.
What's going on, everybody? Chris and I, we discuss established empires while showcasing us building ours.
All right, so this is going to be a very interesting conversation, my man. First off, we had a little getaway. It was fantastic.
Yes, sir.
And it was pretty awesome. Appreciate you and our fellow friend Tommy for celebrating my birthday.
Of course, man.
It was certainly great. 29 last year of our 20s. I'm excited, but I'm almost eager to hit my 30s because I know we're gonna crush that.
Yeah, I mean, 29, it just feels like the first year of my 30s already. I feel like I'm already at that stage. I mean, we're just going to keep elevating, keep going. I'm excited as well.
Yeah, and to be 29, you're still so young, but at the same time, it's interesting because you obviously are getting older. But what's sad is, to see individuals in our age bracket who aren't fulfilled, they're not happy, and you wonder why they're not happy. And it could be insecurity. There could be plenty of reasons, but I almost think a lot of it is because people could potentially have a lack of purpose, a lack of vision. And because of that, there's no fulfillment, which leads to insecurity and just other negative shit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel certainly that that's a possibility. I mean, a lot of people don't find a passion that drives them crazily hard. I mean, some people, they want to work, make money, but there's not like a reason behind it. I mean, you don't work just to make money and then and expect to be happy, obviously.
I mean, money is a variable, but it's like if there's 5 variables, money's like 4.
Yeah, I mean, you need to get everything together. You need to find something that you enjoy. You need to find something that's going to fulfill your, doing. Whatever you do needs to make you happy. And money alone isn't going to do that.
Yeah, but if you don't have that purpose, if you're not a music artist who's making music every day, but like that's what you want to be because you want the allure of it, and you're not making money on top of that, and now you're just sitting in like a dark room or whatever it is, or you're just negative, you're just going to project that, and the energy you put in the world, it truly revolves and comes right back around.
Absolutely. I mean, you surround yourself with similar energy people you have, kind of. I mean, I know I like to be around positive people. Me and my boy, we're always laughing. We're always having a good time. We're always trying to find ways to elevate and make some money.
Of course, but I mean, you're talking about us.
Yes, the
Yeah,
dynamic duo.
the dynamic duo, straight up. But here's the thing. We have other goals.
Absolutely.
Like it's not just about making money. I mean, we make money doing our job, which taught us skills of sales, which we may get into later down the line in this episode as well. But we have outside ventures which may take decades to actually complete and fulfill, but that is almost the journey in the game, where if it's going to take that long, you can't ever really get discouraged or upset.
Yeah, and as long as you kind of have that side passion or that side goal, as you always should have, right? I mean, that's something you're going to work. Say you have a 9 to 5, but you're excited after work because you have these goals you're trying to hit. I mean, you could be slightly unhappy with your 9 to 5, but if you're doing something like this, or you're looking to buy a house, you're building a family, those things make you happy.
Those are purpose. Yeah, it's a purpose. And a lot of times people get complacent, and that's an enemy right there. You become your own enemy. And then it spirals, and it's fascinating to see. And I honestly think that a lot of individuals who I see or speak with, who you can tell are not truly happy, are almost not happy because they don't have that thing that they can keep striving for.
Yeah, something to hit the next level. I mean, do you think that's a lack of, I don't know, discipline or a lack of mentors in your life? Some people can't find the ways themselves, obviously.
So I think I would say it's a lack of education,
Mm.
but it's like that different weird of education, right? I mean, not having mentors is a lack of education,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also by chance, right? You have to be in this situation and network with this guy
Network,
to then
yeah.
teach you. Yeah, so I mean, what we're saying right now, I like to think is highly educated shit, but it doesn't connect or register with the majority of people who we're, I guess, segmenting.
Well, yeah, I think we have a specific type of mind. I mean, any time I've been in a career path, or I've always tried to elevate or figure out ways to keep it moving, keep things grinding, keep, getting to the next level. I mean, yeah, I see tons of people who have been at the same place in the same mood for years, not changing a thing.
Well, so that also goes to a little bit of a lack of education, right? So the way we're moving and how we're building, we're not even progressing. It's almost a year and we've hardly progressed. We've progressed, but it compounds, right? So we built a resume and a portfolio where our next episode we're going to have a two-time TED speaker come on. And the only reason why he's going to come on is because he sees how, you know, uh, consistent we
Consistency,
are.
yeah.
Yeah. So it is progression, but and there are ways to elevate quicker and faster, but that is also an educated thing, right? So people who do have a passion, who want to like do music or art or comedy,
Mm-hmm.
they may get discouraged if it's not taken off within 3 to 6 months or however long they do it, and then quit, get pissed, get mad, get sad, and it's not the way it goes.
No, yeah, so that is definitely a lack of the understanding the process because like you said, I mean, things can take 10 years. I mean, there's people that aren't going to get what they want till they're 40, but they're still trying every single day from 20 to 40.
But here's what's crazy, right? Is we can start as a podcast and then some innovation of technology could put us on like the new wave. We could be ahead of it because of what we've already been doing, kind of like video games, right? When
Mhm.
people were playing video games in the 90s or early 2000s, playing Madden in 2005, nobody knew that you would be going to be able to win $100,000 being nasty at Madden.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They develop everything develops, things change. Yeah. And they
Yeah,
try and,
but if you love what you're truly doing, then it doesn't matter. Eventually, it's going to come. But those people in 2005 were probably like, fuck video games. It's not going to pay me. And then boom,
now
you
you got everybody streaming, making,
that's a profession. Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
which I want to get on Twitch. We got to get on Twitch. I mean, Twitch seems
yeah,
like,
Twitch is big. Twitch is huge. I mean,
well, I don't even think it's that huge yet. That's the thing. I said
well,
a
they
year
have,
ago.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they definitely have, people. It's not just games, so it's certainly a place for something
It's
like this as
everything.
well. Yeah,
It's just streaming now.
yeah.
So, you know, for everything we just said, you have to have that before you enter the business sector
Otherwise, you're
of
gonna
of
fail
of
or give
course.
up.
Yeah, you're gonna give up, but like you're also I'm okay with people giving up, but you can't be down on yourself and sad. See, the giving up is actually what's gonna make people sad and shit.
If you
And
give up
also,
for the right reasons, I mean, if you're giving up
of
just because it's
course,
difficult and you're not making like whatever yet,
you're not getting what you want. You're just being you're kind of like stubborn. Like you're
you
ignorant to
can't, yeah,
yourself.
you can't give up on yourself. Certainly in those moments. I mean, nothing comes easy. Absolutely, nothing comes easy.
So now you need to have that mindset and understand that perception and perspective to begin anything. I mean, when we started this podcast, which is almost a year ago, we literally said, fuck, this may take 3 years.
Yeah, I remember first episode. We're in your dining room, and we were like, "Let's record a first episode about our five people that
We
inspire us."
did,
And
and we did research, and I
yeah,
mean, the shows changed like a lot.
a lot.
I still think they're changing. We're still learning, but I mean, how many conversation people know you as podcast guys now? Like it's fun, it's interesting, and it just started.
Yeah, I mean, now people can go back, and now there is after this episode 87 conversations, whether it's just me and you or we have valuable guests on, and which we do see that the guests seem to be something we want way more of, way more often.
Well, because we're switching our show in a way, right? So
Yeah.
the show is our journey to build something massive and meaningful, and then having other individuals who are on the same journey but a different path, because we're all on the same journey, just different paths. So now this is what's interesting and fascinating is you have to have that mindset that we just discussed to begin this thing. Then when you get into the business aspect, I think it goes brand, network, sales, right? So if you build your brand, build your empire,
Yep.
and then we have 87 conversations with multiple guests, and it's clear cut what we are, what the show is. We can show people we want to interview who are higher up, A-list people, B-list, better than us, right?
Yeah. I mean,
That
also people who are just also in the same mindset as us building as
same
well.
mindset, correct. But I mean, people are not going to give you their time
Yeah.
unless they think it's worth it.
An exchange of value.
100% took the words out of my mouth. So now you build your own brand. You're building your identity. You have to now just put layers and layers on top of that, and then you can go out and network and seek that, the network aspect, which is pretty easy, but people are just too fucking lazy because now this is work on top of the work you're already doing of a mindset and a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a lot. It's not something you're going to do if you don't do it every day, or you're not. I mean, we come home from 9 to 5s and we're doing this. I mean, we have other things going on in our lives. But yeah, I mean, once you have that portfolio, networking seems way easier. I mean, because people, so yes, you could reach out to someone and then they're like, who the hell is this? But then they look at Build Your Empire podcast. They look at your Instagram, how you move.
So
And then
that could be, though, being a good salesman as well. I mean, yes, it gets you in the door, but just because it gets you in the door and you can get a response out of people, you then have to make the people like you and find the exchange of value.
yeah, but yeah, and it kind of seems more and more people are seeing value in just being on someone's podcast. I mean, it's exposure. If it's serious anyway, I mean, we're obviously a serious podcast 87 episodes later. People are like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get on with them.
It's pretty legit. And
Yeah.
they don't know the numbers behind the show. They just see 87 episodes. And we've had some awesome guests. We had Amadeus, platinum producer. We had Heather Hopkins, CEO of a dating app. I mean, we had the big time influencers. We had, we have
Yeah.
Ankit who teaches us stocks. Like, I mean, it's a thing, right? It's certainly tangible. So now we're not even in a process where we're even thinking about making money or trying to make money, where eventually we could, let's say, quit that 9 to 5. That I mean, for me, that would be ideal to be financially free on my own terms.
Of course. Who doesn't? I mean, at least in my eyes, who wouldn't want that? I mean, you work how you want, when you want, and you get things done as you want it. That's like the American dream.
And yeah. It's just so incredibly difficult. And I just think to generate the sales and to monetize all of this, and now it's funny because people are writing on social media now, oh my God, podcasts are starting to like blow up. I should create one, or you should create one. And it's funny, it's like, dude, these things been a thing for years now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, we have podcasts from 10 years
For a
ago.
year.
Yeah, not us,
You
but
talk about Joe Rogan, but yes,
yeah.
but it's funny that it's now just really popping off, and now we're in the game already a year in. So now people are even more fascinating if they see 87 episodes. They're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, then you have the people who don't start, or they start and stop because they obviously get discouraged, because realistically, like you said, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of time. I mean,
tons of work, and then
time
you also
is
have to
your
battle.
money.
You have to battle demons of insecurities and
Exactly.
of putting pictures and clips out and putting the content out, because that's the thing. People are very scared to put content out, and they're scared at the numbers. They're scared that if fucking 3 people watch your video or listen to your podcast, it hurts them eternally. I look at it as like, you know what? Nobody even sees the back end numbers. So if I polish off the front end, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and also those numbers will change with your hard work. I mean, you're not going to
Of
get those
course,
people right away. But yeah, that's what discourages people. Like you said, insecurities. I mean, when we first started, I was not normally in front of camera, you know. I mean, this is mostly audio, but I also was never on radio. But now I'm very comfortable speaking on a podcast. Things change. You get better.
100%. I mean, now we've done this almost 100 times. It's and it's funny too because this goes for all marketing or content creation. Is I had someone reach out last week who I must have put 50 impressions in front of his face to
Hmm.
listen to our show. So it took 50 times, a rough estimate, for him to see my show, hear about it, see content about it, for him to actually click on an episode, and he listened to the episode with Ankit and Stocks, and he loved the episode. Contacts me and says, Frank's a character.
Yeah, I mean, that just proves how it's consistency because why do you think there's an episode out every week and things are being posted? I mean, no one's going to click it every single time. It took, you know, I still have friends who tell me, wow, you know, you're on 87 episodes. I got to listen. I don't know why I haven't listened yet. But then I have friends who finally have listened. So it's like, is it going to take 100 episodes for you to finally listen? Or are you
it,
just flapping?
it's not even 100 episodes. It's they have to see it 100 times,
Yeah, yes, yes.
and they have to see what sparks their interest. If you know, we have Ankit come on the show and we speak about stocks, and nobody, and you know, a person has $600 in their wallets and they don't know dick about stocks, then they're not going to listen to that episode.
Yeah, yeah, that's not an episode for them. But then
But
you have, say, you have someone who's looking into dating apps. We have Heather Hopkins episode. You probably want to listen to that.
yeah, except Frank, if you're listening, screw you. Don't give me a call and say, hey, you got breadcrumbed. I know I got breadcrumbed. And if for anyone else who's listening doesn't know what that means, listen to that episode with Heather Hopkins. She's dope.
She was dope. That was a good episode. We all get breadcrumb once in a while, man.
Facts. I guess we should describe what breadcrumb means. That's essentially when you're talking to a girl and you're thinking that like she likes you, and like she'll leave you a little breadcrumbs, and
Yeah, you pick the
then
breadcrumb up, you eat it. There's no more. Then she
yeah,
drops you
yeah,
another one, thinking she's, you know, giving you
yeah.
the attention. And then all of a sudden, you're just chasing a trail of breadcrumbs, and you,
Yeah, and I'm
you
getting
never
not
get
the
to the
bread.
loaf of bread. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, screw that. I get my bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
She's silly. I should be leaving the breadcrumbs to her.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of all of this, though, it comes down to a race of time.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't obviously have unlimited time, but we do have a lot of time here.
Well, this is what we were speaking about during our weekend while we had one hell of a trip, and we
Yes, sir.
would we would discuss that it's a race against time. I mean, you know, cliche, you can wake up tomorrow, get hit by a bus, and that's it, you're done. So when I say race against time, I'm not talking about 80 years old. I'm gonna win if I make it to 80, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, growing old, if if we're moving now at 29, I can only imagine what will be accomplished at 80.
That's why. And so the first part of this episode, when we're talking about mindset, perspective, and
Hmm.
you know how you need that to really progress, it comes down to right here being 30, right? I bet you could do a survey. Are you excited to enter your 30s? It would probably be half and half. Yes, I'm excited. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to build my empire. The other half would be like, oh, I can't believe I'm 30. I'm old. I didn't do nothing. I wasted all my 20s. I didn't travel. I didn't experience. Those are the people who I would not put my money on.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, 30s are 30s for me sound exciting. I mean,
Oh
I,
my
I can't wait.
God.
I
Yeah.
Well, the amount of knowledge that I have acquired during my mid to late 20s just shows how much more knowledge I'm willing to take in and soak in my 30s and 40s. 30s and 40s is going to be better than my 20s. I
And
mean, granted, we traveled a lot.
well, that's because we were just fortunate in the sense of our families, and we were able to, you know, get education and get good jobs and save the money to travel. Typically, people would travel like now.
Yeah.
They have the job and they could afford those type of travelings. We did that earlier, and I purposely tried doing that as early as I could, with the thought process that if I get that out of my way as early as I could, then I could start a family as early as possible. But God didn't want it that way, I guess. Here I am still single, but in my 30s, that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, man. I mean, everybody has their own journey, their own story. We have friends that have, women who they have proposed to, who are they have married, and we have our own journey. I mean, that's super exciting to have started a family. But what we're doing as well is super exciting. I mean, it's
It's a
amazing.
give or take, because if I was with, let's say, a girl married with a family, this journey would probably be a sidestep, because that would be my main priority, and fulfilling of excitement.
It would certainly slow it down. But I mean, you could definitely still do both. It depends on your situations, of course.
It depends how bad you want both, really.
Yeah. That's
But
what it comes down to. I mean,
yeah, of course.
you either go get it or you make an excuse.
But that's why, people could be 35 and they quit their jobs and start their business, and they make it work because they're so extremely focused and mature that they could make it work. And then they do make it work. And that's the story. And that's what's crazy, is that we're 29 now. We've been doing the podcast for a year. Literally in 3 months, someone could tweet our podcast and it goes viral, and then boom, we're on like 3 levels up.
Yeah, I mean, that's could potentially be a similar thing if we put a billboard in our city.
I was just gonna, I was, you be bastard. So we were at a party a week ago for the listeners, and someone came up to us and they're like, I actually listened to your episode. One, did not expect her to say that. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Did not expect you would listen. But two, she said how, if she was to give negative feedback, is that me and you essentially don't argue with each other or debate with each other, that we agree with each other.
Yeah, she was critiquing, but
Yeah, but I've heard that before from other individuals.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, how could we debate when you're literally just said the sentence that I was just about to
That
say?
is a very valid point right there.
So like, it's very hard. We have to like almost orchestrate
An argument.
an argument, and that just is not organic no more.
Yeah, so when we do organic things, we have very similar mindsets. So yeah, it's
Sorry.
it's not about disagreeing. It's really about relaying the points. I mean, if we both have similar thoughts, that's what it is. This is why we're the dynamic duo.
I mean, and there have been, it's funny because even on the shows that we did argue, I don't even think it was a one side. It was more of a lack of understanding of both sides, or else it
Yeah,
probably would have been an agreement.
yeah, yeah.
It's just we couldn't communicate our points where it just sounded
100%,
combative.
100%.
But I mean, it's all fascinating. All fascinating. But with the billboard, for anyone listening, look, if you're doing something like this, you either have the talent that is going to propel you just because you're talented, and algorithms and content, it just all works in your favor and you blow the hell up. Or
You
you
put
take the
in the
route,
hard work.
you put in the work, but also you have to invest in yourself. People work 2 jobs to take the money of the second job, the income, to literally invest in a side project.
Yeah, I mean, as Russ says, you're your greatest stock. I hope you reinvest. Always
I'm
invest
throwing
in
money at
yourself.
I mean, I could have probably bought a house if I definitely I could have bought a house cash if I didn't spend all my money on those vacations and experiences. And if I didn't put money in trying to invest in myself, trying to shit work, I'd have like another fucking 80,000.
Oh yeah, I mean, we thought about that. Like as the things got worse during the coronavirus. If we didn't go on all these vacations, we would have another 50 to 80 grand saved up already.
Yeah, which for the user or for the listener right now, the fact that you're like trying to calculate, God damn it, what do they do on vacation that they're talking about 50, 80 grand potentially spent? Yeah, we go fucking hard to the bank.
We do, man. We like to experience new shit. We like new culture. We like beaches. We like mimosas. We like good times, and we put in the work to enjoy those damn good times.
But at the same time, you won't catch me without wearing my hat with a logo, because that's that's like, if you just rock your, like, I would want my closet filled with like my logo or names on my shit, just because it makes sense. I love Nike. I love Nike
Absolutely.
shoes. Like, I love Nike sweatpants, Nike hoodies, sure.
But you're
But
not,
like,
that's not your brand. You're not branding other people. You're branding yourself.
yeah, so it just makes more sense to like, and I'm never tried being an apparel,
Yeah.
salesman, or
It was a thought at one
company.
point we
It
wanted
was,
a
well,
clothing company.
yeah, well, I had 10 business plans, and none of
Imminent
them,
success.
yeah, imminent success. Ah,
That
yes.
that was already taken by some.
No, it was the logo I literally thought of like a month later. Another kid created the same logo. It was very weird, but that just always it confirms my validity of my thoughts. That's how I like to think of it.
That you're like kind of on the right track or making the
Yeah,
right
it
moves,
happens all the time, even with celebrities. I'll think of something or
and then
like a
they'll do it or
content
say it.
idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So for example, like, I smoke marijuana. I like marijuana. I am a pro advocate of marijuana. I do not,
Yep.
I do not, I do not
Portray yourself with it on video and on your content.
know, because there's children, I want to be a role model. I need to speak and spread positivity in the mindset. And, if it has a negative connotation, I'm not for it. However, you want to show yourself, you want to be authentic. So I would love
Absolutely.
to smoke on camera and speak, but it's bad. However, it's becoming legal,
Yep.
and the whole dynamic is beginning to change. So I almost want to create Chris's Weekly's highlights. So that to me sounds like a wonderful idea. I would not be surprised if next week some asshole fucking took it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it certainly is a good idea. It clicks right off the bat. That's unfortunate if someone takes it, but we'll still do it anyway. You'll still do it.
Well, this is also hypothetical, but like this shit like that happens all the time. It's weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that goes back to like people stealing ideas. I don't know, wasn't the patent for the telephone stolen or something like that? Things like that happen. People steal ideas and take credit for it.
Alexander Bell stole the
So
telephone.
someone, I don't know the exact thing, but yeah, someone took the patent for the telephone and it wasn't really them.
Interesting. Well, I mean, it's like that episode we spoke about Monopoly. Sometimes it's just good business moves, I guess.
Oh yeah, with the guy who sold Monopoly but got fucked because it ended up taking off.
Yeah, I mean, well, $500 in 1903 probably is a shit ton of money, but that guy probably made $1 million in 1903.
Yeah, that's generational money right there.
Yeah, and it's never about the money. Of course, you want money because you want nice shit and you want to experience nice shit, but
And
in
you
the
want to
end,
be stable. You want to be there for your family.
of course, you want to provide. I mean, you don't want to be a loser, but like in the end, if your focus is money, unless money is what makes you happy, then like that's a different story.
Money may make you happy, but there's definitely certain things that
Nah, but there's some people where like it makes you happy, like that's the purpose.
like that's the
All
grind.
right,
That's the grind.
yeah, yeah,
And
like that's what they want.
yeah, and yeah. Well, then they'll put in the hard work just for that happipiness. So
Of
then it still
course,
works. Then it still
yeah.
works.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. There's nothing against those people, but like we were talking, and Tommy wasn't understanding me during the weekend, and he thought that like I'm too fixated on money. Fuck money. However, it is a necessity.
Well, it's just because when I believe it's because when we spoke about it, you use the word money as someone moving. I mean, getting a career, putting in work, because obviously you're putting in work in your
Money
career. You're getting
money
money.
is a scoreboard. It definitely is
Yes.
a scoreboard.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and, and I mean, you don't judge anyone for a lack of money or thereof.
Of course
But
not.
but if you're trying to move in a specific way, money is a scoreboard.
That's it. That's it. So if how you want to live your life, what you want to achieve, like you said, money is your scoreboard. I mean, I just want that scoreboard to keep going up and up.
Well, Yeah, yeah, but that's because you just want to achieve things. But once you achieve those things, then it doesn't. The money's irrelevant. That aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to buy a house. I want to buy a ring for my future wife. I mean, all these things cost money.
Oh man, if we were to give a breakdown of a 30-year-old male, and I say male because we have to buy that ring, which
Mhm.
could be. I mean, how much would you say an engagement ring is? How much would you throw it down?
I mean, it could probably be like 8 to 10 grand.
That's what I would actually say. 8 to 12,000.
Yeah,
People, I don't know. People who I'm getting engaged, they got big balls. Let me tell you.
big more.
Yeah, yeah. Almost everyone I know is paying close to 15 for the ring, and I'm just like, yo, I don't understand. I don't understand. She's gonna say yes no matter what. If she doesn't, then
That's
exchange the ring and find a new one.
well, she ain't gonna say no just because the ring. But I mean, unless you get like a $300 quarter machine ring.
That's such an interesting. That's a very interesting thing as well, right? Because I don't think the girl gives it. They don't care about you giving them the ring. You give them nothing, and they're gonna say yes. But it's almost like them. I would imagine flaunting it to other girls who
Yeah.
have rings, and now it's a competitive thing. It's very weird, and I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but I would
Well,
imagine it's similar.
yeah. I mean, it also is a symbol of something. So clearly, they want to show that off. And the nicer it is, the nicer they feel, I guess. But I would love to give a nice ring to my woman.
100%. But if I also have to buy a house
Well, then
and
that's a
and the and
discussion.
the wedding
That's
and
going
the
to be a
wedding,
discussion. That yeah.
yeah, I mean, oh, dude, I put money away for the ring now. I don't even know. I don't even have. I'm not even talking to a girl.
Well, that just
But
makes sense. You're preparing for you and you be prepared and instead of getting prepared when you have to.
yeah, because it would sure suck when I got to drop 12 grand and I'm not prepared. But
Yeah.
if I put $20 a week now in 5 years, it's gonna be there. Especially if I put in an ETF fund and it grows a little bit. Like I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
I could make money. I could probably pull a little something out.
You can buy the ring and
Buy
then
the
buy
ring and
some.
get some cash. Yeah, buy myself a watch. What up?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's all opportunity is really endless. It just depends on what you want in life and your mindset.
It's great, and dude, it could change any moment. You know, a loved one could pass away, and your mindset could be fucked for the next 3 6 months, and that's not a big deal. You need that time sometimes to, just do that. But then you got to know you got to come back. Got to
You
come
definitely
back.
got to come back.
You may
Can't
lose your job.
spiral.
May lose your job. Like you're gonna be in a dark place probably for a month, 2 months. That's okay, but you got to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly thought of that during these times when the pandemic hit and there's tons of layoffs. Not that I was in a position where I was definitely losing my job, but it's a thought. But in my head, it's like, you know what? If that's the case, it doesn't matter because I know my value. I know what I could do, and I know I'll be able to
But
get
but
somewhere
that's
else.
what's amazing though, is the fact that we can have this discussion and understand this perspective means that we will like never fail because we know we'll always come back. Some people don't. It's it I and they could be in this goddamn conversation and agreeing and saying everything we're saying, but it doesn't work. I don't understand.
That's because they're most likely not speaking their truth. That's just not how some people get in that rut and they let the spiral go straight down and down and down. It's unfortunate, and I hope all those people get out of that. Find ways to make yourself happy and keep moving. Because once you stop moving and you give up, yeah, I mean that's where depression or sadness, everything comes in.
Well, I always say, how much time we got? What minute are we on?
We are on 34 minutes.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. But I would always say for people who are depressed, I always kind of say this because it doesn't make sense. If you're depressed and I tell you, were you ever like really, really happy? Like, did you go on vacation like a year ago in Mexico and you were extremely happy and you had the best time of your life? Yeah, yeah, like I was ecstatic. But now I'm not. But you were. That could happen again.
In due time, it all could
Yeah, dude,
happen again.
yeah. Oh, I see what you're doing there.
I mean, everything good comes to an end. but you will always get what you want in due time. So that's where the consistency comes in. That's where the mindset comes in. Keep going, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna get that happiness again.
Yeah. But like that's why I feel like I could never. I'm like prone to potentially being depressed.
Yeah, I feel. To be honest, I feel very similar. And when we say that, we obviously have sad moments and depressive moments,
Of
but
course.
it's like a cloud for us. The cloud is passing, so the cloud's over my head, but then all of a sudden it's gone and the sun is shining, and I'm now happy.
So it's almost like the only thing that could probably truly put me in a dark place would almost be death, right? I don't
Yeah.
know to whom, but I mean that's kind of different. Like I was talking to Ankit, and this is gonna get very morbid right now, but like
Mhm.
you talk about suicide, right? I mean, people people talk about that shit. It's odd. I've never really thought about it, but there is one scenario where I would feel like, all right, that may be the way. And that's like, let's say you have a family and like your house burns down, you're the only one who survives.
And
I
you,
can't imagine living.
is-
That would suck.
I mean, of course that would suck, but maybe you need to live on to pass on the
That's
memories.
my boy. Now I can see it that way. I didn't see that. I didn't see that perspective before. But like I was talking to Ankit about this. I'm like, that is the only thing I could see where that could just be truly fucking dark and shitty.
Yeah, I mean, and we've also been in rooms where we've overheard people talking about depression. I mean, not depression, suicide, and they're all
Yeah,
like,
dude,
"I
it's
thought
crazy.
about it. I thought about it. I thought about it." It's like, what? What do you mean?
Oh
You're
man,
22 years old, but you
yeah,
thought about it.
daughter. Well, that's because there is a major flaw in the system. Well, not in the system of the generations before us. I think I think millennials are blessed because we evolved with innovation of technology.
Yes, and they
So
were
we
born into it.
they were born into it.
Hmm.
And I don't think these kids understand that the shit they consume, that watching all these riots and people getting killed on social media, and watching people argue and
And then
all
the
this negative,
insecurities of themselves on social media being looked at by everyone.
it's oh man, it just is. It's a perpetual cycle in their psyche where I feel deeply saddened for like the Gen Z era.
No, I agree with you. I mean, like I said, to be honest, that social media has a big play in it because people always feel like I mean, they're putting out content I mean, they want to feel good. They get negative comments. You're not feeling good. And that's not what life's about. Like I mean, yes, social media will help you network. It'll help you brand, but like, fuck those people judging you negatively. You do you. And
Most famous people like Joe Rogan and like Russ and all the people we like and shit, they don't even look at the comments because
I
they
know.
understand how
Yep.
fucked up it can make your thought process.
100%. I mean, Russ also dealt with some huge negativity, but
He's
he bounced.
still, I just read some shit, pisses me off because that dude's a G.
Yeah, he's a G, he's a genius, and he makes great music.
I tell you, we had one long ass weekend. We barely slept. We're on a couple hours of sleep right now, and somehow we still managed to do the show. That's putting in work. But tell the audience, how good was that sandwich I got you earlier?
Oh man, unexpected chicken cutlet palm with vodka sauce.
Yo, my guy. I feel like,
Absolutely the best one I have ever had.
yeah, dude, I feel like both times when I said Village Maria, I feel like you always like, yeah. And both times you're like,
Yeah,
oh.
no, there's no more question about Village Maria. That is the spot for food, for good
I
Italian
told you,
food. Yeah.
bro. Shout out Village Maria because Village Maria, you cook some banging ass food. I give you that.
Yeah, your pizza I wasn't too
I don't
fond
know.
of,
I don't
but
know.
it's been a while. But now that your food is excellent, I gotta probably try your pizza. Certainly put me to sleep. I got home, ate that thing. I clocked out for a few hours.
So I did the same thing, but I don't think it was that thing. I mean, I think it was the fact we're on 4 hours of sleep.
4 hours of sleep. We enjoyed a beautiful house in the woods, kind of with a fire
Little fire
pit,
pit, nice little hot
hot
tub.
tub. Yeah, great
Man,
times, good people, just waving at you when you're running.
yeah, PA is the spot. I mean, makes me really think about just buying like a fucking $100,000 house there just to have. Me and you could just go there when we're bored, I guess.
When we need to get away, man. You always need to get away for a little bit.
Yep, but remember, the only reason why we were there is because it's goddamn pandemic. Because I'd be on a nice
Oh yeah,
penthouse on the beach,
yeah, we would be somewhere much nicer than that.
and where there's women, not bears.
Oh, you stack your chips, you do hard work, you could do whatever you want. Vacation for us is one of those things we strive for. And
Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and a beautiful woman. Start a family.
Uh, well, no, I have to start the family, but I mean, you could practice starting the family.
Practice starting the family. I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, I'm talking about sex. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed the show. And we're gonna have an awesome guest next episode. I think it's pretty impressive that this dude reached out to me, two-time TED Talker, to be on the podcast. Created a business from nothing, runs multiple businesses, selling courses. He's certainly gonna bring the value. He's gonna bring the heat. He's actually funny. He's like, Chris, I hope like you're not gonna give me a secret invoice. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Just come on the show. Come on the show.
That's funny. It's secret invoice. Yeah, now you're good, man.
You're good. So Hassan, we're gonna catch you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna want to watch that episode. This episode was certainly I felt like a little low energy, but some real shit right here.
Absolutely. And we appreciate all you guys, and we're here for you. Reach out anytime, questions, and we'll see you next week.
And maybe you'll catch weekly highlights because you'll certainly see a night highlight tonight.
Peace.